Have you ever heard of the pangolin? Perhaps not, and don't worry because you're not alone. This is one of the most fascinating and mysterious animals on the planet, yet also one of the least known. Get ready to discover amazing facts about this unique animal, which seems to have come straight out of a fairy tale or a fantasy movie. The pangolin is known as the only mammal with scales. That's right. Its body is covered in hard scales made of keratin, the same material as human nails and hair. These scales aren't just decorative. They are the pangolin's main weapon of defense against predators. When threatened, the pangolin curls into a tight ball, exposing its sharp scales to deter any attacker. Imagine an armored armadillo with an incredible natural shield. Furthermore, these scales are so tough that even large predators, like lions and tigers, struggle to penetrate them. Pangolins are found in two main regions of the world, Africa and Asia. There are 8 known species, divided between these two continents. Each species has slightly different characteristics, but all share an incredible behavior: their ability to hunt ants and termites. That's right, the pangolin is a pest control specialist, consuming up to 70,000 ants or termites per day. To do this, it has an incredibly long tongue that can be longer than its own body. This sticky tongue is perfect for accessing the narrow tunnels where these creatures live. And how do they find these insects? Well, pangolins have an extremely keen sense of smell. Even in the dark, they can accurately locate ant nests or termite mounds. And don't worry, they also have powerful claws to dig their way to their meal. These claws aren't just used for hunting. They also help pangolins climb trees, especially arboreal species. Speaking of which, did you know that there are both terrestrial and arboreal pangolins? Terrestrial pangolins prefer living on the ground, digging burrows for shelter, while arboreal pangolins spend much of their time in trees. Regardless of their habitat, they have one thing in common: they are nocturnal and solitary animals. During the day, they rest in their burrows or nests, and at night, they venture out to explore and search for food. Now, let's address a serious topic. The pangolin is also the most trafficked mammal in the world. Its scales and meat are highly valued in some parts of Asia, where it is mistakenly believed that they have medicinal properties. This has led to all pangolin species being classified as threatened or critically endangered. To combat trafficking and protect this unique animal, various organizations around the world are working tirelessly. But there is still much to be done. One way to help is by spreading information about the pangolin, as we are doing now. Another curious aspect of pangolins is how they care for their young. When they give birth, usually to a single offspring, the mother carries the baby on her tail, protecting it with her scales. This bond between mother and baby is heartwarming and shows how dedicated these animals are to raising their young. While growing up, the young pangolins learn essential skills, like finding food and defending themselves, by observing their mother. And what does a pangolin sound like? You won't hear a pangolin barking, roaring, or meowing. These animals are incredibly quiet. When they feel threatened, they may emit low grunts or whistles, but this is rare. Their reserved behavior is another reason why they are so hard to find and study in the wild. Did you know that pangolins also play a crucial role in ecosystems? By feeding on insects, they help control pest populations that could harm crops or spread diseases. This cleanup role is essential for maintaining the natural balance. Without pangolins, the impacts on agriculture and human health could be significant. Speaking of adaptation, pangolins are true survivors. They evolved to protect themselves from natural predators, but were not prepared to face the greatest predator of all, humans. This is one of the reasons why conservation is so important. Finally, here's a fact that might surprise you. although they are often referred to as being similar to armadillos. Pangolins are not closely related to them. In fact, they are more closely related to carnivores, like wolves and hyenas, than to any other armored animal. Incredible, isn't it? Pangolins possess some surprising abilities that often go unnoticed. For example, did you know they have a kind of biological armor that continues to grow throughout their lives? Their scales are constantly renewed, ensuring they are always ready to face new challenges. Additionally, during confrontations with predators, they can release a strong-smelling liquid from their anal glands, similar to skunks. This additional defense mechanism is another example of the pangolin's remarkable adaptability. Another fascinating aspect of pangolin behavior is their intelligence. Despite their reserved appearance, they can solve complex problems, especially when it comes to accessing food. Some researchers have observed pangolins using ingenious methods to overcome obstacles, such as manipulating objects with their claws to open small pathways. This ability demonstrates that, even without extensive study, these animals have much to teach us about resilience and creativity in nature. Did you also know that pangolins are true travelers? They can cover long distances in search of food, especially in habitats where resources are scarce. These movements also help distribute nutrients in the soil, as pangolins disturb the earth while hunting insects. This behavior contributes to soil fertility, benefiting plants and other organisms that rely on a balanced ecosystem. Unfortunately, this incredible adaptability does not protect them from human impact. In addition to illegal trafficking, pangolins face the destruction of their natural habitats due to deforestation and agricultural expansion. The forests and savannas where they live are being reduced at an alarming rate, leaving less and less space for these animals to survive. This is why conservation projects are so urgent and vital. One interesting initiative is the use of modern technologies, such as drones and GPS trackers, to monitor pangolin populations in protected areas. This allows researchers to track their movements and better understand their behaviors and needs. At the same time, rehabilitation programs help pangolins rescued from trafficking adapt to the wild. And if you're wondering what you can do to help, there are several ways to contribute. The more people know about pangolins, the greater the pressure to protect them. If you've made it this far, congratulations! You now know much more about pangolins than most people. And this knowledge can help save these animals. Share this video, tell your friends about pangolins, and help spread the message of conservation. Together, we can ensure that this fascinating species continues to exist and inspire future generations.